6 weeks in the books now for the Syracuse Crunch after extending their point streak to 4 consecutive games after an overtime loss and a win last week for Syracuse. Crunch opened up the week Friday in Rochester with a dramatic overtime loss against the Amherst. They tied the game with 0.6 of a second to go in that 3-2 overtime loss against Rochester. Came back on Sunday here in Syracuse against the Hershey Bears and routed the Bears by a 7-2 score. Crunch are 3-0-1-0 in their last 4 games and back to 500 for the first time since after the second game of the season, where the Crunch were 1-1. Syracuse now 5-1-0 through their first 11 games of the season. It was a complete week for the Crunch, who again go 1-0-1 in the week, but now heading into week number 7 for Syracuse, a bit of a change as Crunch defenseman Eric Chernak gets his first career call-up to the Tampa Bay Lightning. Something that Crunch head coach Ben Grew says he certainly deserved.
Well, it's great. You know, it's well-deserved. Since Eric came here, he's been a good student for us. Like he's the perfect example of the player that comes to the rink with a plan, and he does what's necessary to be successful. Very excited for him. It's well-deserved, and I always say that it's not if, it's more when. And it's exciting for him and his family and for the Lightning and the Crunch.
So here in week 7 for the Crunch, it is a Wednesday home game against the Binghamton Devils. That is tomorrow night inside the War Memorial Arena. Syracuse got a shutout victory over Binghamton the first time around a couple of weeks ago in Binghamton. 4-0 shutout victory for Connor Ingram. Then the Crunch go on the road on Friday against the Utica Comets. Second of 12 between the Crunch and the Comets. Utica beat the Crunch here in Syracuse early in the season 3-2. And then on Saturday back home for the Crunch. First matchup of the year against the Laval Rocket. It is the Crunch's Hockey Fights Cancer Night here inside the War Memorial Arena. Syracuse will be wearing specialty lavender jerseys in the game against Laval. It'll all be presented by Upstate University Hospital. So great night here in Syracuse on Saturday. All 3 games this week for the Crunch get underway at 7 o'clock. If you can't make it to the games, or if you are just looking to listen on the radio or watch on AHL TV, Countdown to Crunch Time presented by Supercuts gets underway at 6:45, and the puck drop again at 7. All 3 nights. Wednesday against Binghamton here in Syracuse, Friday in Utica, and then Saturday back in Syracuse against the Laval Rocket.